Diddy is one of your bigger influences. So
Absolutely.
tell me how that came to be and what part of what he does really influences what you've done in this business.
It was just the style and the audacity of it. You know, Diddy, especially early Diddy was, and just early Diddy now. You know what I'm saying? You can see Diddy on Instagram now. He still got that same.
Yeah, got that swag.
Yeah, and I think in music is so subjective. You have to have other intangibles to make people pay attention. And I think in a lot of ways, Puff knew that early on. It wasn't just about how we can make the greatest song in the world. Great songs, I won't say they come and go, but great songs are not impossible to come by. You know what I'm saying? We hear a lot of great records.
We forget a lot of great records.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, what's the other attachment to it? And sometimes it was Puff in the video doing the little thing. It's the extra bottle pop.
We were just talking about
this.
Those little nuances are the things that make you be like, I'll never forget that time.
Yeah. So tell us this. Mike and I were having the conversation last week on the show about, well, what video really defines Bad Boy? I picked Total and Big with Can't You See.
What defines Bad Boy? One More Chance.
Okay.
And I said that too.
Mike said that too. I'm tripping. Big Papa.
Papa?
The hot tub scene.
The hype village.
When they're in that tub.
Yeah.
And he's like, how you living, Biggie Smalls, and they in the tub, the girls around. Misa,
stylist.
Time, like,
stylist.
They're all in the tub. And he's got I'm like,
yeah.
That's
Tell
it.
your friends to get with my friends.
Yeah, like, come on, like that is peak Bad Boy to me. Now there are other things, like I said, the One More Chance video I love because every cameo in the world is in the video. I love that video.
I think what I said with the swag on it, because we had a discussion. I think that Mace's image is kind of like the Bad Boy image that you think of. And
so what you said? More money, more problems.
Nah, I actually said the One More Chance when Total was walking in the door. That's Bad Boy. That's Bad Boy to me. Like,
but you know what's funny about that? Because ironically, I was just watching TV. I was at the office maybe 2-3 weeks ago when it came on. But right after that video came on was JD and Brat's video. The I'm gonna give it.
I love Give It To You.
I love
It's almost the same video though.
That might be the best.
It's almost the same video, and that's why I'm like, see,
theirs is kind of loungy. Hers is kind of like
Big was first.
I thought Big.
Hers
was
is kind of like a day party, and Big is the night
the
party.
Night party at the house.
Right. It's the same party as one taking place.
But that video, now that we bring it up, to me is why JD gets some of the flack that he got, especially for a while.
Why you feel like that?
I feel like,
because that was a great record,
and I've done a 180 on JD, just so y'all know. When JD was, years ago, I looked at JD as like, man, why is dude trying to be Lil Puff? I never subscribed to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm born and raised. I'm a Grady baby. I'm from Decatur. Like, I am diehard Atlanta to my core. And I was one of the kids that was from here that had to endure when all the New Yorkers moved down and was like, y'all niggas country, y'all slow, y'all ain't got this, why that don't stay open till this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the one fighting New Yorkers in middle school and high school. Like, mind you, when I was in school, 2 years ahead of me was Swiss Beats. Lala, all of them went to Redan. These are all,
I remember,
like, all
my homies that I grew up with, they went to school with them.
Right.
I know.
So, like, their crew, especially Swiss's crew. Swiss's crew of New York buddies used to be doing ciphers at the football games in the hallway at school, and they was the main ones. Like, man, y'all Atlanta niggas, y'all ain't got this, y'all ain't got that. We used to be bucking at school. This was a regular thing for me, so I always grew up with a chip about this New York Atlanta thing. So watching JD, what I feel like assimilate in a lot of ways at the time.
I felt like that too.
I used to be like, why? I used to kind of have like a disdain for it. Like, why are you doing that? We ain't got to do that.
Give me another example outside of the Give It To Me video that made you feel that
just
way.
In general, just the ad libs, the feel. Like, it felt like early JD, which, funny, as I've gotten older and heard JD kind of tell his side of it, I was like, okay, maybe I was tripping.
You wanted him to be more Atlanta?
Yeah, because he was like, yo, I signed 2 kids from Greenbrier Mall. Like, and I'm like, yeah, them 2 kids made me want to really be in this. Crisscross is what made me really be like, I can do this. Like, LL Cool J was that was my older brother's thing. So I've looked at my brother, so I looked at LL like, all right, that's what that looks like. West Coast rap was the thing was the music that I first learned and like was memorizing the words and repeating. When I was 3rd, 4th grade, cussing up a storm. But Crisscross was the one that made me be like, oh, I can be a kid and do this? Cool. I want to do that. But when JD tells the story, he's like, yo, I signed these 2 kids from Greenbrier Mall. we was the first ones from Atlanta to do this, that, and the third, and we but it just didn't feel like if you look at old Crisscross album covers, shows, they're in everything except Brave
except
shit.
for Brave stuff. Yeah,
They're wearing Yankees jerseys.
Right.
They're wearing Chicago Bulls.
Athletics.
Everything. It didn't feel
I get
but
you.
like Atlanta. So when Tip came along and he did the one of my favorite, what my
In the
real
A?
In the A
Yep.
is my official
Me
Atlanta
too.
song.
I agree.
I hate Welcome to Atlanta to this day.
Welcome to your homie.
I feel the same way you
Yep,
do.
he does.
And I think the reason why I felt that way about JD growing up, and I'm born and raised in Atlanta too,
Right.
it's because of Dungeon.
Yeah.
The Dungeon family really felt like Atlanta to me. And it was
Felt like
like,
Atlanta.
even though I did like the stuff that the Brat JD
I
was
love
putting
Brat.
together.
Brat's one of my favorite rappers
Yeah.
who never gets to do that she should.
Yeah,
I
She's
agree.
amazing.
But I do feel like they were trying to cater to what New York was doing, whereas we had our own thing going on. And
Yeah.
I'm like, why? Like
Outkast came through and they had Braves jerseys and Braves hats on.
Yeah,
I'm
from,
like,
from the
Represent.
oh my
jump,
God.
from the jump, and on the album cover.
From the jump.
Yeah, Southern Playalistic. Andre's in a Braves jersey on the album artwork.
And then when Tip came, and Tip was like in
He took-
full
yeah.
in the streets mode.
Yep.
And he does the In the A record, and he's like, "What's all that? Yo, this is
It's
an
an
Atlanta
Atlanta
song." I
song.
said, "Yes, that.
Exactly.
I'm rocking with that."
Well, let's talk trap music then.
Well, real
Go
quick.
ahead.
No,
No, go ahead.
I got
Go
one
ahead.
more
Go
question.
ahead.
Back to the JD thing, because I
Right.
think this is just fascinating. Because, well, you're known for the marketing side of things.
Right.
So, did you not see the marketing side of it?
I mean, I was a kid when JD was doing that,
Right.
so no, at the time, I didn't.
Okay.
I thought what Criss Cross was able to achieve was amazing. Going on tour with Michael Jackson, selling the records that they sold. I think Brad is like I said, one of the most amazing rappers. Period. Not just female rappers. Brad, and in her prime, Brad could go with anybody. I
Funkified
love the
is one of
skate.
my favorite albums.
I love Jagged Edge. Jagged Edge, like I said, I managed their studio for like 3 years. So I'm a Jagged Edge diehard, love it all. JD accomplished a lot from this city, home based here.
Social
It just
Death
didn't
Base All
feel-
Star.
Yeah, Social Death Base All Stars is a classic to
That's
me.
the
Both
joint.
of them.
To me.
The lime green joint
Number
and the purple one.
Number two.
I
You
like
got
them
the
both,
three?
but I feel like the two is the.
2 is the one. The 2 is the orange one. 3
Yeah,
was
yeah,
the
yeah,
purple
yeah,
one.
yeah. Yep. So like I love
Atlanta
all of
talk.
that. Like
Yeah.
like I said, as I've gotten older, heard JD tell his narrative of how he viewed what was happening. I'm like, you know what, JD, you did put on more for Atlanta in a lot of ways that I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Social Death Base All Stars being the prime example of what he was able to do, right? Because nobody else came through and did that, and he didn't have to do that.
He didn't have to do
Because
that.
that was a very underground Atlanta thing. You know,
Yeah.
so that was Edward J, Bass Tapes, Oomp Camp. That was them. JD didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So I love him for that. But at the time, it just didn't feel
Yeah, I get
like
you.
the city. But
Oh, understood.
you know, it is what it is. Shout out to JD though.
No, for real. Yeah, his impact is incredible. But
For sure.
at the time when we were kids, we like, okay, well, this is
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Right.
This is kind of a watered down Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like,
It
at least
felt-
that's what it felt like.
It
but
felt like JD was going with the flow when it came to them, and it felt like Tip, even Goody. I remember.
Goody
Goodies
It was a
very,
birthday
very
bash.
Atlanta.
It had to be a birthday bash or something, but I remember when Fly Away came out
Yeah,
on Goody
man.
Mobb's album. And I remember getting into the
That's still
biggest fight in the
standing.
world on Morris Brown campus with like a bunch of like out of town people and all the Atlanta people was like, if you don't like where I stay, fly away. Like I remember that being like the rallying cry of a huge brawl on the Morris Brown campus. Like that felt like Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? We cool enough. We're enough. We're cool
Right.
enough. We're hip enough. We're talented enough to stand on our own without having to try to be LA, try to be New York, try to be Miami. We can be whatever. We can be us. And that was what gave me a pride in the city, you know?
yeah, I felt like that about Soul Food. Like you said, we're enough.